Howdy everybody, my name is Jeff Rugrock, all things prints for this semester. This is drawing number 11 of your drawing portfolio for the prints course, semester 1, or introductory course. It is drawing number 11. I have my title block already filled out, which is one of the rubric items. For this drawing, we are going to be looking at symbols for different fixtures, just a small selection. Tank type toilets, bathtubs, kitchen sinks, and lavatory basins. Of course, there's many more, but these are the few that we're gonna draw, and we're also going to be sizing them. So I'm going to be looking for fixture outlet pipes, the fixture units, vent pipe size, supply pipe size, and cold water, hot water, and total loads. For this, you can go back to your tables, or you can look everything up new again. It's up to you. I have done a little bit of pre-work just to sketch out what I wanted it to look like. It's not going to look anything like this. I've decided to move this over here and whatnot, and put my top views in the top right corner. Anyways, but this gave me a sense of what I wanted to do with it. And some spacing options. Yours might require a little bit more. You can, of course, use your textbook, Blueprint Reading and Drafting for Plumbers by Michael A. Joyce. We've gone over quite a few of these already, some fittings and sections, some line styles. We're going to look at some of these now in different ways, and then we have these yet to finish. But this is just your portfolio of drawing skills. Get you a chance to practice different things in different ways. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about while we're doing these few drawings, and I'm going to have to watch my time because there's quite a bit in here, but you can actually buy a template for fixtures. So if you look here, you'll see there's a couple of water closets in plan view. That's the top looking down. Some urinals from the top looking down, some lavatory sinks, countertops, kitchen sinks, laundry sinks, washer dryers, tons of different things. Bathtubs, there's the outside of a bathtub, and there's the inside of the bathtub. Different heights, so you can decide what height you want. Anyway, so these are the sorts of things that we're going to be working on today. And maybe I'll just start. So my idea was to put top right corner was to put a plan view right from this template, which is, by the way, 1/4 inch per foot. So that is 1/4 inch here equals 1 foot on the job, or in reality. So if this is 3/4 of an inch across, that would be 3/4, that'd be like 3 feet. It's not 3/4. I don't know why I'm saying 3/4. Anyways, so that's the gist of it. We're going to draw some pre-lines here to get started. And these are just where I'm going to be. Remember I told you I planned this out a little bit, so you're going to have to take a bit more time. So I know what I'm looking for here. So we'll start with a tank type toilet in plan view. And I am just going to use my template for this one. So I've got a little line drawn across here. I'm just going to line up the template with that line. That's it. There's a plan view or top looking down from above of the toilet. Next up, we can do the bathtub. Again, I'm just going to use this top line, and I'm going to do the outline of the bathtub. And then I'll match on top of that. And this happens to be a 66-inch bathtub, full sized. Oh, and I forgot there's a little, you can do this little profile piece on top of it if you wanted to. Something like this. Give it a little bit of funky shape. There we go. Isn't that a thing of beauty? So the rounded side would be the back of your tub, and your drain would be here on the right. So this is a right-hand bathtub, as it were, because this is the front. And then the backrest is the scallop side. So that's your bathtub. What else we got? Lavatory basins. So we can do a countertop style. And this is the center of that cabinet. And then I'm just going to determine the center of it this way. I'm definitely going to have to watch this. We're already up to 6 minutes of video here. So there's your crosshairs for your sink. So this sink is going to be centered. And then I can choose any kind of sink I want. And we'll go with a nice oval. So you line up the crosshairs there, there, and there. There's a top view of a lavatory. You also can get different types of sinks. So this happens to be a cabinet style, sink in the cabinet. But you can also do corner or wall hung. So you can put that in the corner to do a corner sink. Or just a straight up regular wall hung basin. And again, you'd have a drain there and a drain here. There's cabinet style, wall hung. Last one would be a kitchen sink in plan view. So I'm going to go back to the countertop. Mark my centers again. And for the ones that you have to do, you can find something to trace if you want for this. Don't turn it into something impossible. I'm going to do a double sink. So I'm going to put one sink here. And kitchen sinks are typically double sinks. And again, when you're finished, you take away all those excess lines, right? I pretty much decided that when this is all done, I'm going to clean up all these drawings and publish them in completed fashion. Anyhow, so there's your basic fixtures in plan view, so top looking down. Now let's do the top view. Or sorry, elevation views. For a toilet, again, this drawing is not to scale, so I've done these at scale, but what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to kind of do freehand and keep an eye on my proportions. So for the toilet, well, we'll take off the plan view done, plan view done, plan view done, plan view done. There we go. So for the toilet, I'm going to do a side view, and I'm going to do a front view, and the only real difference between them is the actual tank. So the bowl itself, I'm just going to draw a semicircle. And again, you don't have to use a compass, not even close do you have to use a compass. But I am. Again, I'm just trying to get the proportions about right. I'm not worried about the actual dimensions. So this is, you can't see this yet, I won't imagine, but this is actually going to be my toilet tank. Well, I'll put the front view here. So this is going to be the front view. Don't forget to spin your pencil as you go along there. A little flush valve there. A little flush valve there. And then we can do the bottom of the bowl. So there's the start of your toilets. Remember, a toilet, the fixture outlet pipe, there's no trap, it just simply comes out of the bottom of the toilet. Makes sense? Bathtub's almost easier. Oops. Because it's truly just a rectangle. And then you can always draw the waste. Remember, I had a right hand drain on here. So if you wanted to do the waste, you could do something like this. It's called the waste and overflow in reality. And this would normally, well, the trap portion would normally be shown on a drawing. So whether you had the overflow here and the drain there, or just the trap, doesn't matter. But this gives you a sense of what a bathtub would look like. You can, if you wanted to, put a backrest in here. I suppose this would be hidden lines to some degree. I don't know why you'd bother with this. But there you go. There's some lines for that. So that's your elevation view, your kitchen sink. Pretty simple one too. going to do a double sink. And I am going to connect them with a fixture outlet pipe. This would often be drawn on a drawing just to show you that it's, if you don't have the sink drawn, when you see something like this continuous waste with the trap underneath it, you know it's a double sink, not a single. So this would generally be drawn as well. Then the last one would be this. Well, we'll do a back vent on this one. That's a back vent, and maybe we'll do a continuous vent on this one. And then what shall we do here on the bathtub? Continuous vent as well. And then on this water closet, we'll do a continuous vent on this side. And we'll do a back vent on this one. And it's just, I guess it's important to know that every pipe has a drain and a vent, right? So there's some symbols for your fixtures and your the fixture outlet pipes that go with it. Then we're also going to be looking for some information, which we'll put off to the side here. And again, I had this pre-planned to some degree. I never quite know what it's going to look like, to be honest. And what I'm doing now is just creating some lines that I can work with for inputting information such as, so I've used my drafting skills, my title block's done, each item, but now what I'm looking for is the fixture outlet pipe size, the drainage FUs, the vent size, supply pipe size, cold water, hot water FUs, and total loads. So again, it goes back to that table. So for a water closet, we have a 3-inch fixture outlet pipe. So that's this one. We have an 1.5-inch 4 fixture units. We have an 1.5 inch vent. So 1.5 inch. Then we have a 3/8 supply. And then we have 2.2 FUs cold. Not applicable for the hot because it doesn't have hot water, and so that would be 2.2 for the total. Oops, misspelled. So that gives you a sense of what this would look like. In the bathtub, you just keep it going. So it's an 1.5 inch FOP fixture outlet pipe. It is 1.5 FUs. It is going to be an 1.25 inch vent. And it is going to be a 1/2 inch supply. And you just keep going, make sure all that information's in there. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. And that's it. You just keep it going. I'll let you finish that off.